And California's Attorney General agreeing with Sacramento County's prosecutor. Charges will not be filed for the officers who shot and killed Stephon Clark. Just to remind you how we got here, a year ago this month, Clark died in his grandmother's backyard following a police chase. He was unarmed. Officers, though, said they believed he had a gun. Turns out he had a cell phone. The DA's decision over the weekend setting off angry protests. More than 80 people were arrested last night, including several clergy members. CNN's Dan Simon is in Sacramento, where the state's AG just announced the results of this independent investigation. So, Dan, what else did they determine here?
Well, hi, Erica. The protests will continue, but now you've had two major investigations into the shooting, one by the district attorney and the second by the attorney general of the state of California, and both now have concluded that this was, in fact, a justified shooting, despite the fact that 22-year-old Stephon Clark did not have a weapon. He was unarmed. In fact, he just had his cell phone, and the attorney general made that determination based upon the fact that he did not comply with officers' demands. At one point, he's seen advancing towards the officers, and he says that officers could make the reasonable determination that the object in his hand was a gun, despite the fact that it was a cell phone. Take a look. Here's what he said just a short time ago.
Clark had an object in his hands, which we now know to have been a cell phone. And during the encounter, the officers repeated spontaneous shouts of gun. And third, at the time of the shooting, Mr. Clark had moved from behind the picnic table in the backyard, where he was first seen, and advanced to a point within 16 feet.
Well, in a sense, you now have two stories here. You have the investigations into the shooting, and you have the protests, and these protests will still continue. In fact, there's one scheduled for later today, but last night things did get a little bit heated. You had 80 people who were arrested. Police determined that this was an unlawful assembly, and people failed to disperse. I know that there are lots of questions about the tactics that officers used. The mayor says that he wants to hear from the public about what happened at a city council meeting tonight. You can expect that city council meeting to be heated. But in the meantime, as far as these officers concerned, they will not be facing any criminal charges.